Hi, my name is Jeff Denz. I'm a martial arts instructor out of Buffalo, New York. I teach at Western New York Mixed Martial Arts, and I own my own gym, Integrity Martial Arts. With all the quarantines and everything going on around town, I figured I'd take some time and I talk about kids instructional. Today I have with me
Forrest Dent. I'm his son, and I've been doing kickboxing and stuff for a while.
Forrest has been training with me since he was a little tyke. Insert picture right here. So Forrest has been training with me a long time, and by now, I've learned the best way to train with him. We started training, like from that picture, when he was 3 years old. We've had our trials and tribulations. I've coached kids since 1994, and coaching my son was a great challenge. While you're home isolated and quarantined, social, what?
Distance?
Oh. While you're at home and participating in social distancing, you're probably stuck with your kid, and you may want to strangle him by now. If they're anything like my kid, he's been in front of a screen all day today.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That's not good. Kids needs a little bit of structure. It's kind of your responsibility as a parent to get out there and give them some structure. So I can give you some stuff to do with them. If you're one of my students, this is a perfect time to catch up on our first 4 punching combinations. I'm going to have Forrest get gloved up right now, and we're going to go over some of the combinations, but we're going to start out with where everyone starts out, fight stance. So while Forrest gets geared up, I'm going to talk a little bit about today's lesson. Today is about learning how to work with our kids. Kids are having lots of stress today from everything that's going on. You're taking stress home with you from work. I know when I come home, all we're doing is talking about what's going on, right? We can't get food, all kinds of stuff. I talk about I'm going to eat the neighbors, even though he knows I'm not really going to eat the neighbors. I might eat the neighbors if we run out of food. You know that's not a joke, but you take some of that stress home. And they're dealing with school being canceled. Their schedules are all changed. So our goals when we're working is to be able to work with our kid, even though their temperament's going to be a little bit frayed, and our tempers are going to be a little bit frayed. So the goal is not to make sure that everything is precisely 100% correct, but the goal is that we're spending time together, we're improving ourselves, and we're giving our kids a little bit of self-confidence, right?
Right.
You definitely know you can protect yourself if someone tries to take your Cocoa Puffs. What do you? Oh, you eat Reese's, right?
Chocolate frosted ones?
Was that a fart or was that you moving around?
That was the floor.
Okay. We'll edit the fart out. He farted. Now that you can see Forrest's feet, we're going to go into fight stance. So what Forrest is going to do is he's going to bring his hands up like he is looking through binoculars. So his hands are covering his eyes. You want to make sure that the hands are up here. When we first start out, a lot of people keep their hands at the chin, all right? What we're not teaching is boxing. If you're boxing, that's okay. There's a lot of weapons in fighting. We have kicks, we have punches, we have knees. So we want our hands up, almost like we're wringing a towel around our neck. Bringing those elbows in, nice and tight, all right? Once we get our hands right, we're going to take our non-dominant foot. So if we right with our right hand, we're going to step with our left foot. He's going to step his left foot forward, and now he's going to be in a fight stance. He's going to move his right foot out just a little bit and back it up just a little bit. So you're in a good square stance, all right? We want to imagine like we're on railroad tracks when we're standing there. We don't want our feet in a single line. I don't want my feet to end up looking like this. I want my feet nice, good spacing apart so I can move in any direction. Little bend in my knees, and I should be up on my toes. So Forrest has a bum ankle. He hurt it. He got deked out in basketball really bad. No, that didn't happen?
No.
We're trying to come up with a cool story. Really, he got hurt playing floor hockey in gym class, and he doesn't have a cool story to go with it. His footwork is not the best. His heels are a little bit flat. Your heels should be up off the ground. So when you do it, your feet should look like mine right now. Your heels should be up off the ground. Your left foot should be forward. Your right foot should be back. Now that we have the hand placement down, we're going to work on the punches, all right? We're going to be in our good stance. So my lead hand, if I'm right-handed, my left hand is going to be my lead hand. My non-dominant hand is in front. So my left hand is going to be my jab. So Forrest is going to throw just a regular jab. Boom, that's going to come out. Nice and slow. When he throws his jab, his right hand should be home protecting his face. He's too handsome to get hurt. Most of our kids are handsome. And if you have an ugly kid, I'm going to tell you he's handsome anyways. And his brain is still important. So we got to make sure we protect the brain. All right? When the jab comes out, the shoulder should protect the jaw, just like Forrest's is. Now, his right cross, when he throws his right cross, his right hand's going to come out and his left hand's going to go back. He's rotating his hips, as you can see. Come back. When he throws it, he's going to rotate his hips. I always tell my students to pretend they're squishing a bug with their big toe so their hip comes forward. He's extended out, his shoulders covering his jaw, his other hand's home. All right? That's a jab and a cross. Our third punch that we're going to teach is going to be a hook. So he's going to throw a hook out. So Forrest is going to throw a hook. The hook comes out. His elbow is perfectly at 90 degrees. His arm is straight. He should be like a waiter carrying a plate, all right? I just have a plate in my back pocket. So when have your left hook out, you should be able to balance a plate on there without it falling over. If the elbow's too high, plate falls off. Well, it doesn't because it's got a glove. If the elbow's too low, plate falls off. Good thing Dad's here to catch it. Dad, quick tip. If you're doing this with your children, do not use your wife's plates or you may find yourself sleeping outside. So those are the 3 punches that we're going to use today and a couple combinations that we're going to show. We're going to show punching combination number 1, punching combination number 2. Forrest is going to be in a good stance. When I hold for him, I'm also going to be in a good stance. It would be great if my partner has gloves and I have pads. I do have pads. If you don't have pads or gloves, just have your partner throw a little bit lighter. Even though kids are little, their knuckles are really sharp and they hurt. And you're both going to be sore if you catch a whole bunch of punches. All right, the best thing to do is put some pads on. I'm going to go get my pads. Forrest hits way too hard. All right, so the first punching combination that I teach is jab, cross, hook, cross. Very basic combination. Left, right, left. You got to slow down, man. You're way too fast for the camera. Nice and slow. Jab, boom, bring it back. Cross, bring it back. Hook, bring it back. Cross. Good, man. You look great. When you're instructing your students as a coach, you can pick on them a little bit. When you're instructing your students as a dad, if I picked on him a little bit, sometimes he gets mad at me. Sometimes he cries. Sometimes it's okay. So if you're a parent coaching your child, make sure you're always positive. All right? It's a tough time. We want to be really positive. This should be a beneficial exercise for us both. We want to finish this exercise being happy with each other, having a good time, just breaking the doldrum and sitting around watching TV all day. So even if your kid looks like poo, tell them they look good. If they don't look good, tell them one thing to fix. And then next time, fix another thing. We got weeks to fix this, all right? So make sure that you're not ending this exercise screaming at each other, all right? We're going to be in a good stance one more time. Combination number 1 is going to be left, right, left, right. Good job on the hook, man. Way to keep your hands up. All right? If, for some reason, my training partner or my kid is left-handed, we're just going to switch our feet. And now the jab would be the right hand. So it would be jab, cross, hook, cross. Oh, man. You got to get that hook up when you go left-handed. So jab, cross, hook, cross. Good. One thing I did not show when we throw the hook, so I'm a bad teacher, he's not a bad student. We want to make sure that when we throw the hook is up, protecting my face from return. Yeah, so it's up nice and high. He did a really good job. The plate would balance on there 100%. No problem. See, so his hook is good. It was my poor instruction. I want to make sure it's up at his eye level. Get rid of this plate. That's pretty much it for combination number 1. So what combination was it?
Combo number 1.
Boxing combination number 1, punching combination number 1. Make sure your kids know that. All your kids that are in my class at Integrity or Western Underground MMA, they should already know that combination. So don't let them fool you. Make sure you guys are getting some good solid work in. All right, we're going to go on. Were you tired? Were you tired? Have a rock star. It's good for you. That's not a real plug. Alright, so we're going to go on to combination number 2. Like every other combination, we're going to come right from our home stance. Alright, home stance is always non-dominant leg forward, shoulders apart, hands up, nice and tall. Alright, we are now going to throw cross, hook, cross, body hook, head hook, cross. Alright, this combination is a little bit longer. It has 6 punches. So what I like to do is I break it down for the younger students, all right? So I break it down into 2 steps of 3. The first step would be cross, hook, cross. And I would do this for about a minute so they feel real comfortable with it. And then the second combination is going to be body hook, head hook, cross. Good. Really good. See? Positive. Positive all the time. When we throw the left hook to the body, we're going to stay nice and tall. It's not like boxing. We're not going to dig down and dig in to the body. Even though it's a boxing combination, we're still standing in a really tall Muay Thai stance, not really that low boxing stance. So it's just going to be a little shovel hook, just like Forrest is throwing it. We're going to turn, dig our shoulder in, and do it nice and tall. Okay? He did a better job protecting his face than I did. He looked much better. So the second half, once again, would be body hook, head hook, cross. So now I have the kids put the whole thing together. Pretty simple. Cross, hook, cross, body hook, head hook, cross. Really good job. So that's the basics of the combination. If your kids are just learning, we can start there. If you're one of my students, you should already know these 2 combinations. So we're going to look at a couple things that we can do to fix it. All right? The one thing I have happen the most with all my students is when they throw a punch, they bring their elbow back and they throw big, crazy looping punches. Like, punch me? Yeah, like that. It's no good. So when he throws a punch like that, that's a good punch. That actually hurt, man. That was right on my nose. But when he throws one of those loopy punches, yeah, it's not as hard. If he threw that one straight, it would be way harder. So one drill that I do, don't hit me hard with this one, all right, is I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to put it in between his shoulders. So when he punches, the punch should be in between my shoulders. All right? If your kid's a little rambunctious, this is not a good drill for them to do. I cannot tell you how many little kids have punched me in the face. No one's made my nose bleed yet, but it's going to happen. So if you're not the kind of person that likes to get hit in the face, the other thing you can do is you can have someone stand behind them, especially if their mom's there, hold their shoulders, and when they throw a punch, it should be inside the frame of their shoulders. All right? It's a really easy drill to do. It works a lot better for them so they can see it. So when they put their fists inside for punches, they can punch you in the chest, or since they're probably smaller than you, they can punch you in the chest or the face, and just nice and straight. Make sure it comes out. That's the one thing that is really hard to correct. The second thing to look for is if you're really trying to improve your child and they got the combination down good, most people, after they throw the hook, their right hand drops. Not quite that much, but it starts to drop. So it usually looks like a jab, cross, hook, cross. Where it should be jab, cross, hook, cross. So we want to make sure that we have the kids holding both their hands up. I always tell my kids that your brain never heals. So every time you get hit in the head, it does a little bit of damage and it never heals. And at the end of it, you're going to end up looking and talking like me. So you don't want that. So that's pretty much all we got. Coach Caveman,
Forrest?
Take the time to work with your kids. What's one thing that you would tell a parent working with a child that really annoys you when I work with you?
Well, really the easiest way to keep your kid from like throwing a fit or being a little fussy if they're littler is being positive. Really just trying to stay positive, make sure they don't ever feel down.
Cool. Make sure you come back tomorrow for combination number 3 and number 4. And we're going to put them all together and have a nice, big, long combination. Don't worry, you don't need any plates or props. We can take care of it. Peace. P.S. Mom, that plate went right into the dishwasher. I promise. Don't hurt me. I love you.